Look, SETI stands for Search for Extraterrestrial Intelligence. It's a division of NASA. We get $100 million in funding from NASA every year, plus we have the endowment. It's a team of hundreds of scientists that are doing all kind of research on understanding intelligence. So understanding intelligence means intelligence that's different from human intelligence, because why do we expect that if we were to encounter an alien civilization or entity or being, that they would think or behave the same way? What it does is, what I try to tell people is, the SETI Institute does more work for Earth than it does for space. Because in order to understand intelligence, you're looking at your own world. It's the lens that you use is to look at your world from the outside in. So whether it comes to, I mean, there's work done by Lawrence Doyle about trying to understand how whales communicate, and they literally have syntax. If you use information theory and marine science and you combine them, you can actually find how they communicate. So I think that's the biggest contribution of thinking like an alien looking at the world. But as far as the work is concerned, is the Drake equation is, and Frank Drake actually died earlier this year, but he was alive until now and had the good fortune to meet him. So the Drake equation is a probabilistic argument that in order for life to exist in the universe, you need certain conditions. If you go to my website, my company says, what are you trying to do at Green Science Equity? I say, trying to advance the L variable of the Drake equation, which basically means the length of time a technologically advanced civilization can survive before it self-destructs, because we will. So when it comes to life in the universe, as you know, the closest galaxy is trillions of miles away. And 1 light year is 5.98 or 5.88 trillion miles. So the possibility of us finding someone from another galaxy or somewhere are very low. An organic life form would be harder to find. You may find germs, bacteria, whatnot on planets. You can't have a cup of coffee with them. But you may be able to find, let's say, a machine that someone's built, like Homo built it or something. And they sent it out in space and it self-repairs, and we may encounter that. And then we can reverse engineer to try to understand it. But if you really go deeper, it's even more complicated, because it's not about just instrumentation to look at the sky as to what's coming our way. It's much more sophisticated, a theoretical physics problem as well, because recently, last year, the quantum entanglement was the topic that the Nobel Physics Prize was given for. Quantum entanglement until now was more of a philosophical, beautiful, magical idea. Now it's become a measurement problem. If you look at it that way, then you can also consider the possibility of how do we know there is something out there, because there is a connection in terms of the impact it's having. So is there life in the universe? I mean, I see a lot of people wearing hijab here, Rabbil Alameen, right? So God of many worlds. So for sure there is life in the universe, because why do we think that we're so special? But will we encounter it in our lifetime? I'm not sure. But there is a possibility of at least finding some sort of bacteria, organic life, or some symptoms. Although I was just in Zurich last night and at the World Mines, and I saw Avi from Harvard, who's heading up the Galileo project, where he believes aliens are already here. And he's basically looking for exploring that possibility. So yeah, there are many.
Yeah, that was the next question. And just yes or no, do you think aliens are amongst us?
No, I don't think so. No, I mean, I don't think so. I know too much science to believe that the aliens are amongst us. No, I don't think so.
I was hoping for a yes. It would have made for a very interesting conversation. And, final question on this X-Files vein of questions. Roswell, was that a cover-up, or do you think it actually happened? There's a lot of documentation behind this, just asking.
Interestingly, when I was talking to Avi this time, he said, the SETI Institute knocked me down hard when I talk about these things. All the scientists are so against it, so why are they so closed to the possibility that aliens have actually made it here? And he said something which was interesting. He said, it's because they're afraid that they would be seen as a joke and sensationalists. So they almost will miss the signs, even if they were here. So there's something to the fact that now the government is releasing a lot of these, data out there, videos and all of that, to say, look, they're unidentified, whatever it might be. And recently we had that issue with we thought it was China with the balloon. So I mean, at least they thought it was China, they didn't think it was aliens, but, so, yeah, I mean, I don't believe any of that. No, I don't actually believe that. And like I said, the importance of asking the question of, are we alone in this universe, is not to necessarily make contact with someone else. It's to look at ourselves from the outside in. Like, think about it. If tomorrow you run into an alien and they say, hey, what did you do with your life, or what do you do with your time on Earth? And you talk about the petty things we're involved in, it'd be really ridiculous. They can't see differences between us.
Okay, that's a very good point for us to transition, and also maybe to think about our lives. Well, an alien think about the way that we're leading our lives, right? So, Homa, you're a recognized expert in AI. The broad topic is